guys, before I get into this video, I would like to apologize for not uploading my Raw review in time. My Raw review in time. And I would like to apologize for not doing that. I had problems with my phone. Yes, I uploaded my phone. And so I had to delete a lot of stuff, and I uploaded the video. So I don't know when this is going to be up. And also I might go over to my mother's house or can't my little brother might be coming over. I don't know if my dad is going to take me up to my mom's house, and why Cam is going to stay here, or why my little brother is going to stay here, or I'm going to just stay here because my brother is coming. I don't know, but let me just get into the video. This story is how I became a wrestling fan, not just WWE, a wrestling fan. I'm not just a WWE fan. Now, I was at least one going on two, or two going on three. It was around 2008, 2009, around 2008 to 2009. I was little, and my mom, everybody kind of lived in this living in a crowded house. My mom lived in a crowded house, with my uncle, my grandfather, my grandmother, my other uncles, and all that stuff. So yeah, and this is how I became a wrestling fan. So I was just sitting on my little bed, and he put on wrestling. He just put on wrestling, and I was watching I don't know what episode it was, but I remember it had Randy Orton with the WWE Championship. I was around I guess hold up. No, I was around 3 at least hold up. Was I? No, I was 2. Around 2009. Or 1 going on 2. I don't know. But I was sitting on my old bed. He was just scrolling through the channels, and wrestling came on. And I seen my first episode of Monday Night Raw was I seen Randy Orton in the ring, and I seen this is my first episode of Raw, and having Randy Orton come out. It was Randy Orton, and it was these 2 guys I didn't know, but you all know they were Cody and Ted DiBiase Jr. Then we seen Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon and Triple H was brawling and stuff. And it got my attention because I never seen anything like that. But around that age, I was a big fan of UFC. I was a big fan of UFC. I was a big fan of UFC, and then I was just watching it every day ever since. That's how I became a wrestling fan. I've been watching WWE. I've been watching wrestling ever since. That's how I became a wrestling fan. Then I tuned out in 2014, and I started getting into freaking Impact. I started getting into Impact Wrestling, and then I got out of it in 2015. I got out of it in 2015. I just went straight to WWE, straight back to WWE. And I seen what WWE was doing, so I tuned right back out. It was a payback I was supposed to go to in Baltimore, because I live in Baltimore. But my parents didn't buy the ticket in time because of the whole Freddie Gray thing, and they didn't want a riot go down again. They didn't want a riot to go down again. So they didn't want me to get hurt. So they didn't just want me to get hurt. And I was pissed. And yeah, that. And then I just kind of stopped watching wrestling. Well, I didn't stop watching wrestling. I was kind of being a casual viewer. That's how I started watching wrestling, like a casual viewer. and 20. Then I tuned back in 2016. I watched WrestleMania. WrestleMania 32 was terrible. I hate that was my least favorite WrestleMania of all time. WrestleMania 32. Then this is my story of how I become a wrestling fan and what was I doing. What did I think of the product when I got older. So yeah, I did. So now let's go to the 2015 Royal Rumble. I was 8. I didn't have the network. I didn't have the network, and I looked at it on my big cousin phone, and seeing Daniel Bryan, seeing Roman Reigns, and Kane get bank Roman Reigns, and The Rock come out, and I even said that was stupid. I didn't care about what Daniel Bryan. I didn't care about Daniel Bryan getting eliminated, and cause I couldn't stand Daniel Bryan. Honestly, I didn't like Daniel Bryan at the time. Now I respect him now. I respect him now. I respect him now more than anything, more than John Cena. Cause John Cena is a piece of freaking piece of crap. John Cena is a piece of shit. I don't like John Cena, especially what he did to the business. But I respect Daniel Bryan now. He's one of my favorite wrestlers now. I hated him when I was a kid. I hated Daniel Bryan when I was a kid, but now I love him. But I didn't like how they went with the whole Roman Reigns situation. I said it was stupid. I said it was stupid. At 8, I said it was stupid. Then I watched WrestleMania. It was cool. My predictions. This is what all my predictions was for WrestleMania. I'm going through the whole fan stage. How I became a fan. What over the years. What did I think about the product? So I'm telling you, what did I do? So basically, my 2 matches I was a couple of the matches I was interested in was the Sting and Triple H match, the Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns match. Honestly, I was a big fan of Roman Reigns back then. But I wasn't high on him. I was a big fan. I said Roman Reigns was cool, but I wasn't high on him my cousin was. I wasn't high on him like my cousin was. I wasn't a big Roman Reigns fan. I'm not a Roman Reigns fan. I said he's cool. And now I'm a big Roman Reigns fan. But the match with Roman Reigns, that's why I said this is WrestleMania 31 in the current era was one of the best WrestleManias of all time. Other than WrestleMania 17. I said in the current era. One of the best WrestleManias the 2000 around 2000 the freaking the 2013, 2014, 2015 era, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019 era. Basically era. So that was my favorite WrestleMania 31. So now we fast forward to I did tune in. So I kind of got out after WrestleMania. I kind of got out of wrestling after WrestleMania. I did watch SummerSlam. That was cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool. I did go to shows. I did go to some shows. I did go to a show in 2014. My first show in 2014. Now keep in mind I was a big fan. I was still a fan, but I never went to a show until 2014. I went to the season premiere 2014 Raw show when Paul Heyman did that. Matter of fact, I think this might jog y'all memory. When the show started off with a cage match with Chris Jericho versus Bray Wyatt, and I said this is one of the best Raws of all time. Having Kane, Seth Rollins come out there and beat the crap out of Roman Reigns. I loved it. I loved every second of it. But let's move back on. Let's move to the current. I got out after SummerSlam. I got out of wrestling after SummerSlam, and I heard that Sting would want to fight Seth. I watched the match, and this is what my thoughts on the match. I thought that we were gonna have Sting win the almost win the match, have Undertaker gong hit, and he ended up costing Sting the match. And we were going to get that match at WrestleMania 32. But no, that didn't happen. So yeah, Sting got injured and stuff. That's when I just completely tuned out. That's when I completely just tuned out of wrestling. Like I was back and forth watching wrestling. I was watching, like at the time I was a big MCU fan. A big DC Universe fan. I wasn't a big UFC fan. I was a big UFC fan, but I got out of it when I started watching WWE. I will still watch it, but like I can't watch a whole show. Just like football, I will watch it, but I can't. I will watch UFC. I will watch it, but I can't watch a whole show. So yeah, and when they had Roman Reigns fight Triple H at WrestleMania, I said that was dumb. That was dumb. That was stupid. WrestleMania 32, the worst WrestleMania I ever seen. That was the worst WrestleMania I ever seen. The only match that stood out to me was the Chris Jericho and AJ Styles match. That's the only match that stood out to me. I'm not like, yeah, it was only 2 matches. Freaking taking Shane and AJ and Chris Jericho. That was it. None of the matches I didn't want. We had a freaking meaningless match with Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose. That was dumb. And then fast forward, I'm not gonna lie, 2016 was one. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people might add me for this. 2016 was one of the best years of WWE in WWE, cause I loved it. The only thing that I didn't like was the Universal Championship. That's the only thing I didn't like in 2016 was the Universal Championship and WrestleMania, the WrestleMania 32. So WrestleMania 33, I seen over one of my family members' house, cause like my cousin was going to the show. I never went to a WrestleMania. I really want to go to a WrestleMania though. I went on my cousin's house and watched WrestleMania 33. The first match I got in, basically the first thing I seen was seeing somebody from NBA. I never knew who he was, but coming to find out that was Gronkowski. I didn't look, and guess what? I didn't care. I did not care whatsoever. And we got I'm not gonna do a recap, but like, what do I think about the show? The highlight for me of the show was Jeff Hardy and the Hardy Boys coming back, because I wasn't expecting that. And if you look back at the tape, you can see Grim. You can see Grim in the freaking you can see Grim. I'm gonna tell you what part where you can see Grim. It's go to the part where like when Enzo Amore and them coming out. Go to the part when Enzo Amore come out. Enzo Amore and Big Cass come out at WrestleMania 33. Just look up that part and just watch the whole part. You will see him. You will see Grim. By the way, subscribe to Grim. He makes good content. So yeah, like I think WrestleMania 33 was cool. It like these are the matches. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna do. Matter of fact, I did say. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna do this right now. I'm not gonna do a kind of like a fantasy booking right now. I will be doing it in the future, but I won't be doing it now. So that might be the next video I make. Rest of the fantasy booking of WrestleMania 33, because you seen I did one of WrestleMania 30, and you see how that went. So yeah, like WrestleMania 33 was cool, and remember when I said WWE 2016 was the best year for WWE. 2017, other than NXT, was better. Was one of the worst years of WWE's. One of the worst years of WWE. in WWE. The only show I liked was Survivor Series. That's the only thing I liked was Survivor Series that year. That's the only thing I liked was Survivor Series. That's the only pay-per-view I liked. So we get to WrestleMania 34. Now look, oh my gosh, man, this show was a shit show. This show was a shit show. They had all the matches. Like they had all the matches. They had all the great matches, but it seemed like they went wrong in every single one of them. Every single one of them. The only match the highlight match of the night was the triple threat, the Intercontinental Championship triple threat match. That was it. Nothing said, "Oh, this is the best WrestleMania of all time." No, I didn't like this WrestleMania. I didn't like this WrestleMania. This wasn't the worst. This wasn't the worst. It's entertaining. I will watch it. I will watch it over and over again. Oh yeah, in another match, the Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon match. Y'all like that match, but they just went wrong. We had a kid win a championship. A 10-year-old win a championship. What is this? This is not Sesame Street. Why would you have a kid win a championship? Why would you have a kid win a championship anyway? So I didn't like that. Charlotte beating Asuka, that didn't make sense. Charlotte beating Asuka, that didn't make sense. I did not want that to happen. So that basically that's it for the show. Like I'm gonna get pissed when I'm gonna get pissed if I keep talking about the show. So now WrestleMania 35. I'm not gonna lie, it was a chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. It was good. The show was good. It was definitely good. I wish they would have did more for this show. For example, now the only thing I didn't like was the main event. That's the only thing I didn't. I think that's the only thing I didn't like. Oh yeah, the two things I didn't like about the show was the main event and freaking the main event of WrestleMania and the Rey Mysterio match, the Rey Mysterio versus Samoa Joe match. I hated that match. Oh yeah, and the Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley match. I didn't like that match either. But basically it was an okay show. It wasn't the best WrestleMania of all time, but it was a good show. So now going into 2016, my favorite show of all time, AEW Dynamite. I'm not AEW freaking what it was called? AEW. It was a casino. I don't know. It was a show, but like I'm gonna just name the things that happened. I did get emotional on one match. One match was when Cody fought Dustin, bro. Like I almost cried when I seen that, bro. I almost cried. Now this is going into the AEW stage of like being a wrestling fan. Now, like yes, like, it was actually good. It was good. It was really good, man. The money. Oh, now let's go into Money in the Bank. What is there to say about the show? It was good. It was good. I had no problem with Brock Lesnar winning. My prediction was Drew McIntyre or Ricochet. That was my two predictions for that night. But no, it didn't happen. So we got Seth Rollins and y'all don't. Oh yeah, and this is another thing. I don't like the Saudi Arabia shows. I don't care if you're in Saudi Arabia. I hate the Saudi Arabia shows. All of them. There's always something stupid happening at the end. For an example, the freaking the D-Generation X versus Brothers of Destruction match. That was terrible. The match with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns speared him through the cage. Roman Reigns' feet hit first, and they said the reason why and they said Brock's body hit first, but his feet never hit first. Roman Reigns' feet hit first. I didn't get that. What else? Freaking the 2019 one would win Undertaker for Goldberg. Oh my gosh, man. Instead of having them fight at a SummerSlam, like, I wish they haven't even fought at all, bro. I would have honestly had them fight at a SummerSlam instead of at Saudi Arabia. I'm not a fan of Saudi Arabia, especially what they did. If you don't know the article, if you don't know the story, I'm not telling. If you don't know the story, look it up. But it's terrible. Oh yeah, that was terrible. Now, let me go to Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules was pretty good show. But yeah, Brock Lesnar won. I was happy as hell. I was happy. And then I watched the Raw reunion show in 2019. I was, because like the commercial, because like this is for Baltimore. This is for Baltimore. They said they did they spoiled their own ending to the match with Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins. Cause the freaking commercial said it will be like it will after Raw. This will take place after Monday Night Raw. It's kind of like a Raw dog show. Like you would get one match or something. Say like after Raw, you would get one more match or something. Like say like that, yeah. And it says Seth Rollins the Universal Champion, and I said he's not the Universal Champion right now. And I said so they spoiled their own ending, bro. And that sucked. That sucked. And I gotta go back to something. And that's NXT TakeOver New York. Oh my God, man! Like Jesus Christ, I never seen something like I never seen an NXT TakeOver show in my life. I started watching NXT in 2016. Excuse me, voice crack. I never seen an NXT show since. I never watched an NXT show since 2016. Before WrestleMania, before SummerSlam. That was cool. That show was cool. But this show had the freaking, I think it was an Iron Man. I think it was a two out of three falls match between Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. I love that, bro. I love that match, bro. It had me emotional, bro. That had me emotional. Freaking all of that, man. I loved it. This show was good. Walter ending the reign of Pete Dunne. Wow, man. Ricochet and Aleister Black having their last final match in NXT against the War Raiders. Wow, man. Like, this show was something else. This show makes me this show kind of, it let me know why it basically know why I'm a wrestling fan. It basically tell me why I'm a wrestling fan. This is why I'm still watching wrestling to this day, and that's NXT. That's NXT. So now go back to the SummerSlam show. Let's go back to the SummerSlam show. I wouldn't have had Seth Rollins. I wouldn't have had Brock Lesnar cash in on Seth Rollins. I'm not going to do any fantasy booking. That's all I'm gonna say. But I would have actually had him cash in on Kofi. I would have had him cash in on Kofi. Still play up like Kofi is not getting this moment. And then he does something at the Royal Rumble, and then he ended up getting his shot at WrestleMania. I will be doing a fantasy booking of that, so look out for that. A fantasy booking of WrestleMania 36, even though it just happened. So let's just move on. So Kofi losing his championship into 8 seconds. Look, no disrespect, Kofi's reign was boring. I love Kofi, but Kofi's reign was boring. I was actually happy when Brock Lesnar won the WWE Championship. The WWE Championship. I was actually happy. And that show was my favorite SmackDown of all time. That show was, oh my gosh. The Lana and Bobby Lashley and Rusev freaking storyline. What the fuck, man? I tuned out of I remember having my phone up. I put my phone on. I paid my phone bill, and I looked at something. I said Bobby Lashley is with Lana. Wait, Bobby Lashley is with Lana? I thought you were with Rusev, and I said yo, and then I was kind of being on a Bobby Lashley bandwagon, I guess, because Bobby Lashley got Lana. That's how I was, and as a wrestling fan. But I just realized that it was dumb. This storyline was dumb. And my favorite thing about 2019 was when Bayley turned heel. I've been waiting for this, bro. I have been waiting. When she first came on the main roster, I said, you need to change your gimmick. When I first seen her, when I went to my first pay-per-view Battlegrounds, I said, you need to change your gimmick. I didn't even know the girl, and I said, you need to change your gimmick. I don't like those type of gimmicks. I hate those type of gimmicks. The hugger gimmick. What is that? That reminds me of another John Cena. Remove all this. Remove the Bayley buddies, and that's what she did. Take away the Bayley buddies. Get away stop hugging kids when you come down the ring. No, don't do that. I want you a badass. That's what she did, and I just lost it when she did that, bro. I lost it. That was the greatest thing. And then the next week when they were showing how when the kids reacted to it and they was crying, I laughed. I laughed because I was that freaking intrigued about the storyline, about the freaking heel turn. I just laughed about that. Those kids was crying because I don't want a happy, friendly freaking wrestler. Ricochet, okay. Ricochet, okay. Who else? That can be a friendly character. The only person that I would say worked as a friendly character, and this is the only person I'm gonna say that worked as a friendly character, as a superhero. Ricochet don't water himself down. Ricochet don't water himself down. He watered down when he went to the main roster, but he didn't water himself down. But Rey Mysterio is the only person that can rock a babyface for a long time. And he been here in WCW. But let me move on. And okay, the NXT invasion. Oh my gosh, the NXT invasion on SmackDown. Remember when everybody was stuck in Saudi Arabia? Good times, wasn't it? That NXT show, that was my second favorite SmackDown show of 2019. When NXT, we had Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan in the main event for the NXT Championship on SmackDown. We had Tommaso Ciampa versus Miz. Sami Zayn getting destroyed by Keith Lee and Matt Riddle. Jesus Christ, man. That show was so good, man. Shayna Baszler attacking both Sasha and Bailey. Jesus Christ. So that show was good. That show was pretty good. And we got the crown jewel, man. The crown jewel. Yeah, The Fiend was the best thing about 2019. That was the best thing about 2019. And this is another thing. I wouldn't have had Seth Rollins lose the championship. I wouldn't even have The Fiend as champion. But they had him as champion. So like I lost it when The Fiend won the championship. I was so happy. I was jumping for joy. When I heard 1, 2, 3, I lost it, bro, when The Fiend became champion. Then he had a feud with Daniel Bryan. I was intrigued in that. The Miz storyline was pretty cool. Oh yeah, let me just talk about Survivor Series first. When Rey Mysterio and Dominic banked Brock Lesnar, that was funny. That was just funny. Like I couldn't, like, that was just like, that was so heartwarming, bro. I'm not the person to see good guys get their revenge. I'm not that type of guy. I always loved the heels. I never loved the baby faces. The only baby face I liked was Rey Mysterio. That when I was little, the only person I liked as a baby, the only baby face I loved was Rey Mysterio. That's it. So, and Brock Lesnar retained the championship. But that was cool. That was pretty cool. Okay. We're down to the Royal Rumble. Oh my God, man. Jesus Christ. Dang, man. We got, oh my gosh, one of the best things about the night. When Edge came back. When Edge came back, I lost it. I said this a lot in this video. I lost it, man. When Edge came back, bro. That was so good. That was so good, man. And then 2020 happened. This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just cut all of this short now. The only storyline I'm intrigued about in 2020 is the Fiend story, the Fiend and Alexa storyline, Roman Reigns storyline, and that's it. Nothing else. Everything is bullshit. I don't like it. What they doing to the business now. And like, I don't know if this is the time to stop being a wrestling fan. I really want to. But I still have my love and respect for the business. But that love and respect for the business is freaking wearing out. So I don't know. I will try to watch these godforsaken Raws and godforsaken SmackDowns. SmackDown is better in my opinion. But I hate these shows, man. Definitely Raw. Definitely Raw, man. Definitely Raw. I hate this show. I hate Raw to a passion. Oh yeah. My live experience at AEW Full Gear. What I gotta say? We have a tag team match that opened up the show. And that stole the show. That basically stole the show. We had a Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes match. That was a banger. And then we had the Lights Out match. Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. Oh my God. I never felt so happy in my life to be a wrestling fan. Watching AEW. Watching that Full Gear show. especially that main event. I loved it, bro. Like after the match, my mouth just literally dropped down to the floor. Like I just couldn't believe it. I was still like shocked. Like I couldn't believe what they was doing. I couldn't believe what they was doing, bro. I couldn't believe what they was doing. So this is my experience as a wrestling fan. It got good at the beginning. It was kind of tweaking a little bit. It was kind of going down, and then it just sucked. And that's 2020. Like I said, the only two storylines I care about is the Roman Reigns storyline, and the Alexa and Fiend storyline. That's it. The rest of the things that happened in 2020 can go to hell, other than Drew McIntyre winning the championship. That's it. That's it, man. So let me know what you think in the comments. Was my point of view. This is how I became a wrestling fan, and what I think over the years watching wrestling. What was my thoughts over the years watching wrestling, basically. And so you got this video. This video might be up probably on around like the weekend. I don't know. If I do go at my mom's house, this will be up over the weekend. This will definitely be up over the weekend. And I will also do an election video. I will also do an elections and tell you who won. It will be very short. The video will be very short. This was long. This is one of the longest videos I ever did. I was just rambling about WWE, basically WWE and UFC and AEW. So let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe, tap that little bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.